it's McKinley, and today I'm doing my wrap up for books 11 through 15. And the light in here stopped working, so now I'm using my computer light, my iPad light, and my ring light to light myself. So it's not great. It's not great, but it is, you know, we're going to work with it. And next week, I will be back to filming in my bathroom. Let's get started. The first book I read was To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. Probably, I don't know what side I'm going to put it on. But I've read this before. This was a reread for me because I really wanted to read P.S. I Still Love You. And if you don't know what it's about a girl who I think is 16, Laura Jean, who writes letters whenever she gets over a crush, and she puts it in a hat box, and they accidentally get sent out to all the boys that she had written them to, and to cover up that she doesn't like the one boy, she starts pretend dating the other boy, and that's where it kind of all takes off. The first time I read it, I wasn't a huge fan because I thought that Laura Jean was really, like, immature. But I don't know, this time I found her really endearing, and I think that I wish I had had her as a main character when I was in school, because I was a really naive 16-year-old. So, like, I don't know, I think that she is a realistic 16-year-old that's kind of sheltered, kind of sweet, you know? So I ended up upping my rating from 3.5 stars to 4 stars for this one. And the second book I read was P.S. I Still Love You, which is the sequel, so I can't really talk much about it, but I did really enjoy it, and I gave it 4 stars as well. And I know that there are some people who have teams, but I don't really have a preference to the boy she ends up with, so it's cool. But it's just a really cute, fluffy contemporary, and I wanted to read it to break up some of the heavier books that I was reading. So, yeah. But here's where they both counted on the reading challenges. For To All the Boys I Loved Before, for the Pop Sugar, I counted it as a book by a person of color. And for the Pop Sugar for P.S. I Still Love You, I counted it as an audiobook because I did listen to both of them on audio. For the Diversity Bingo, To All the Boys I Loved Before, I counted as a book by an author of color because Jenny Han is Korean. I don't know if she's full Korean, but she's part Korean, it's a person of color. And for P.S. I Still Love You, I counted it as a biracial main character because Laura Jean is half Korean, half Caucasian. For the Read Harder, To All My Boys I Loved Before, I counted it as a book you read before, and P.S. I Still Love You didn't count for it for Read Harder, and neither counted towards the Queer 52 challenge. The next book I read, I actually have, was Written in the Stars by Aisha Saeed, and this is a book about a girl who she's Pakistani, and she's allowed, if you've read any type of, like, this West Asian setting, I guess, the parents tend to be pretty strict, but she's allowed to pick her school and all stuff like that, but it's always been known that her parents were going to pick her husband. So they find out that she has a boyfriend, and they take her to Pakistan and basically arrange her marriage. And honestly, this book was a lot. I don't know why I didn't think it was going to be as heavy as it was, but it got really intense. My issue with this book, though, is the writing was really fast, so I feel like I didn't get full explanations for things that I needed explanations for. And she used a lot of Urdu. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the language there. She used a lot of words that I didn't know what they meant, so I had to look them up. So I would think this book would have benefited from a glossary, but it was still a really readable book, and I enjoyed it, and I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Where it counted on my reading challenges, I'm always forgetting to do that. For Pop Sugar, it's a book on my TBR for way too long, because this has been on my TBR since it came out in 2014. For Diversity Bingo, it's a contemporary world arranged marriage. For the Read Harder Challenge, but when she is in America, she is within 100 miles of my house. Because they're in Florida, and I know they're closer to Singer Island because she says she's 5 minutes away from Singer Island, and that is well within 100 miles from my house. But I'm hoping to find a book that is completely set within 100 miles of my house. So this is just like a placeholder in case I don't, and then it's not towards the Queer 52 at all. The next book I read was, this is going to reflect, Far From You by Tess Sharp. And this is a mystery thriller book. The main character, what is her name? Sophie, sees her best friend murdered and is kind of framed that it was a drug deal gone wrong. And it's basically her trying to find out who killed her best friend and also prove that she's been clean the whole time. And she has faced death 3 times. She was in a car accident, and not 3 times, 2 times. She was in a car accident, and when she was 14, that left her back and her knee really messed up, so she suffers from chronic pain, and that's how she became an addict. She was addicted to Oxy, trying to treat her pain, and it's just really, really good. I gave it 5 stars. It's my first 5-star book of the year. And if you like mystery thriller type books, this is a really great one because it's not like... It's better than any mystery I think I've read, except maybe Gone Girl. I just really, really liked it. And especially when it comes to the climax, like I was at work and I was just like, just go, leave me alone, I'm trying to read. So I loved it so much. I might have to buy it because I just really, really enjoyed it. As far as reading challenges, it did not count towards Pop Sugar. For Diversity Bingo, it's a main character with chronic pain, and it did not count towards the Read Harder Challenge, but it did count towards Queer 52. It's one of the 52 books listed on that list. So yay, I finally read one for that challenge. So, 5th and last book I read was Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers. And this is essentially fan fiction. I'm just going to say it. This seems like a book that I would have written when I was in high school. No, it's much better written than I wrote when I was in high school. But I swear it's like she reached into my brain and plucked out something I would have wanted to write. But anywho, what it's about a deaf girl. What is she? What's her name? Allie. Who, I finished reading it this morning and I still did not remember her name. That's so bad. Anywho, a deaf girl named Allie who goes to a concert, the band's called Tone Deaf, with her best friend, even though she can't hear it. Her best friend really wanted her to go, and she ends up winning a backstage tour and meets the lead singer, and he's kind of a jerk, and he tries to make amends because his manager makes him, and invites her back, and he ends up finding out that she is being abused by her father. Is this in the description? Yeah, it is. When he finds out she's being abused, he tries to help her escape to New York and invites her on tour with him, and it kind of takes off from there. And he's got a dark past too, and honestly, as intense as it was still a little bit cheesy because it's not instant love, but it's damn near it. But I still really, really enjoyed it because this is like totally my shiz. Okay, this is just right up my alley. I like angst. I like I realize I'm not supposed to, but I am a sucker for guys saving girls from abuse, and I really, really liked it. I gave it 4 stars because I really couldn't give it 5 because it was a little cheesy, but I really, really enjoyed it. And there is a gay couple in here. 2 of the guys in the band are boyfriends, and there is, I think one of them is a person of color, but it's never specified what type, but like that matters, and I just really enjoyed it. As far as reading challenges, it did not count towards Pop Sugar, Read Harder, or Queer 52, but for Diversity Bingo, it was a deaf main character. So that is it for this wrap up. I have started posting Goodreads links for all the books that I am reading, just because that gives way better descriptions than I do. But yeah, this was a really good reading week for me. I enjoyed everything I read, and I'm so happy. And please subscribe here if you'd like to watch my last video here. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!